back in school. Yeah, more folks on the highways and byways of the metro area this week, next week, starting to gain a little fall momentum. Yeah, if you're out there, thanks for checking us out. We'll take you up in style on the radio, on television after you get home. Take the show with you to the gym, doing gardening, the hunting camp, the hunting blind. You know, this program's on YouTube. We jumped on board about 2.5 months ago. YouTube, Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground, you are in. Or you can go to CoreyTalks.com live streaming, a link to YouTube, our YouTube channel. Why don't you click to subscribe when you get on that bad boy? It don't cost nothing. Check us out on YouTube and click to subscribe. We're on radio in New Orleans. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. We're on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. I like 600 AM because that little powerful, sneaky AM signal goes from Baton Rouge through the North Shore, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, panhandle of Florida. We're on TV all over Louisiana. Cox, Charter Television, that's Spectrum. We're all over there. Cox Channel 4 TV at 4 p.m. weekdays. Cox Channel 4, 4 p.m. That's Yorview, Louisiana, Cox customers. I'm with you every weekday afternoon all over Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333, 4 to 5:30. 90 minutes of fun all over Louisiana. On radio, on YouTube till 6 o'clock. An absolutely full slate on this Monday afternoon, the 4 o'clock hour of the program. Brought to you by Young's Dry Cleaning. Since 1940, truly a New Orleans institution, the dry cleaner in the Crescent City. They got a couple of walk-up locations, old school. They got free pickup and delivery, East Bank or West Bank, home or office, kind of today's preferred method of dry cleaning. And they've got the future of dry cleaning that no one else has. That's Young's Express, their manless locker locations. You put your stuff, your dirty stuff, in a little silky Young's bag and put it in one of their Young's Express locker locations, safe and secure. 2 short days later, pick all that stuff up perfectly dry cleaned. Young's Express, there's probably a location near where you live or work, and you probably didn't even know it. Find out more, youngsdrycleaning.com, youngsdrycleaning.com. 4 o'clock hour on this kind of cloudy, overcast summer Monday afternoon, heading from August, heading towards September. It's game week. Yeah, you're right. Talk about that in a few minutes. But a little overcast, rain in some parts of town, drizzling mostly. And someone's getting dumped on right now going, drizzle, huh, Corey? And some folks are high and dry, getting their golf, tennis, gardening, hunting, fishing, all of it in. No problem. Recall the Destroya. Gaining a little momentum, a little steam. It is 2022 with social media. This thing has more of a chance than ever before. Social media is a big, big pusher. It don't cost nothing. A lot of folks are out there. It's grassroots. It's real in some cases. And you know what you're looking at. But in a case like this, no, these kind of pop-up announcements. Hey, for the next 3 hours at Rockin' Bowl, there's a petition for recalling the mayor to come sign. You know, they're viable. Now, who knows? It's definitely worth the slight effort, a long shot, but better than waiting on the next junket, huh? Seriously. Got 3 years of the mayor, most likely. Even if recalled, probably wins again. That's the sad part. But I do think, most New Orleanians are catching on. When the mayor had a 53% approval rating in the black community a few months ago, that was appalling. A slight majority of black folks, 53%. You wanted to say for every one black person that doesn't like the mayor, there's one that does. That should be like 4 or 5 to 1. Dislike to like. 4 or 5 to 1, black, white, anybody. The white community, I think it was 27%. I was like, how isn't that number in the teens? Well, it might be in the teens now in the white community, and it's probably like in the high 30s, low 40s now in the black community because there's momentum everywhere. That NOLA coalition isn't going to endorse or not endorse or have anything to do with the recall of the mayor. But those types of folks, civic-minded, black, white, old, young, want to work with other folks, willing to work with other folks, understand how there's a give and take to move the city forward. It can't be all white or black or Democrat or Republican or one person, regardless of political ideology or race, their ideas exclusively. So you get those folks now going, yeah, there's just too much bad and not enough good, with the icing or cherry on the horrible sundae is junkets and $18,000 plane tickets, just obnoxious, sinful, pathetic, and just justifying it and egomaniacal and just crazy. It's sad. Anyway, yeah, the long shot's probably, the recall's probably a long shot. You can call it the long shot. But it'd be nice if that long shot hit, and there have been recall efforts that have worked. Very few, but a few in Louisiana. No, the recall, you need 20% of registered voters to sign. They're verified. Then the governor calls a special election date, and the mayor and other candidates run for mayor for the remainder of her term. Boy, this Duke BYU volleyball game thing is sort of hard to believe, to be honest with you. Really hard to believe. It's not in the deep South. It's in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the Midwest. And Duke University, one of the finest academic schools in the country. When you think of the Ivy League, and you can throw in like a Duke, you can throw in like Stanford. There's some schools you can toss in that top 5, top 10, top dozen, top 15. Duke's right there. So this academic school, Duke, that's pretty good in sports too. They go play BYU in Utah, in Salt Lake. And Rachel Richardson is a black Duke volleyball player. And during the game at BYU, getting called the N-bomb by a few fans at almost every serve she attempted. Now, two things just jump out at me right away. How does this still happen in 2022? That's mind-boggling. And how did the verbal assailant not get the crap beat out of him in the stands? If not just verbally told to shut up, and then someone large and intimidating coming over and telling them to shut up, and then another fan just saying enough's enough and just pummeling this person because it's so vulgar and so offensive. And then you just say, forget about that. How did BYU security at the arena not yank this person out? That kind of stuff is just, it's mind-blowing, mind-boggling. BYU a little slow. I don't know. It might just be such a shocker you don't know how to react. But it seems like it should be easy to react. The AD was pretty good about it. Went and saw Rachel Richardson, the Duke volleyball player, had an announcement before the next game that was pretty heartfelt and well said. Just blown away that kind of stuff still happens. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480, 504-766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. RotoAC.com, your cool spots. RotoAC.com, your cool spots.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms, with high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Yeah, you right. Nice. Who's that, Jason? Johnny Sketch and Al Clean Notes. All right. It's a Monday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. And you too. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Recall the Destroya gain in momentum. Yeah, how can Duke go play a volleyball game in Utah against BYU and someone in the stands is dropping the N-bomb when the black Duke volleyball player is serving? And it goes on for a while. It's mind-boggling. It really is. The NASA Artemis 1, the launch has been scrubbed, canceled. The massive rocket with engines and other systems, components, built right here in New Orleans, Orleans Parish. New Orleans East proud, brah. New Orleans East needs like a New Orleans East NASA, some kind of proud sticker, something. Come on. New Orleans East, we help put man on the moon. That's better than if you black, you be buku smart. Everything you love about New Orleans is because of black people. Put some New Orleans East. We help put man on the moon. I don't know, something. Come on. Get some momentum going out there in the East. It's game week. Wow, Tulane Saturday. LSU Sunday. Sunday, Tiger fans, in the Dome against Florida State. Yeah, you right. Saints a week from Sunday in Atlanta against El Dirty Birdios. All right, I'll say it once and move on. We all know it's August 29th. If you were here 17 years ago, who wants to relive any of that? Didn't even really mean to mention it. Let's move on. It's 2022, and it's today. And we head to Steve. What's up, Steve? Where are you calling from? Are you in Slidell, Steve, or you're in the Metry area? Oh. Steve says he wants to rattle off a list of Latoya the Destroya accomplishments at Mayor, and he's just going right now. We can't stop him. Go, Steve, go. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. And that. And yes. Steve and Slidell, thank you so much. Rattling off a list of Mayor Latoya the Destroya Cantrell's accomplishments. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. I am a child. Steve joins us in... what's that? Ed in Metairie? Oh, sorry. I thought it was Steve in Metairie. Ed in Metairie, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. What up, Eduardo?
Well, I'd like to know, isn't BYU a religious school?
Yeah, it's a Mormon.
It's college. Mormon. I don't say Christian, but I don't know anything about the Mormons too much. I know they just drop down my street looking for people to preach to, but...
Well, I guess Mormon's sort of Christianity. They believe in Jesus. Yeah. But I guess it's not Christianity. Right,
but it's, even if any kind of religion, you don't yell that kind of stuff. And even if you're not religious, you don't yell that.
No, of course not. No, exactly. And I don't care what religion it is, Christianity, Muslim, Jewish, whatever, or no religion. You don't yell that kind of stuff, not in the United States of America, and how security didn't come, how fans didn't beat the crap out of that person. And I'm not advocating that at all. I just don't know how that it's like the guy attacking the woman on the street in New York and people video it and the security guard is standing there. I mean, I'm watching and I'm like, I want to yell and run towards the assailant and like at least tackle him off the woman, something. I'm going to yell. I'm going to get his attention towards me and off the woman. So it's kind of is sort of the same thing. It's like, it just yells like, I don't know. How do you...
Well, I've been to a lot of high school ball games, football, basketball, baseball, and I have turned and told people we're not going to have that here.
I don't know how you can handle. I don't know how you could sit and deal with that. I mean, it'd be like, hey, are you out of your mind?
I've never heard that yelled. I've heard a lot of stuff. I've been since 1976 going to high school games, and I've never heard that yelled. But they've had off-color remarks yelled,
no
and I turned and said, look, we're not going to have that. Let's go.
No, exactly. Exactly. I'm shocked.
So that's all.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you for the call in Metairie. That's Edward in Metairie, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. No, he's right. I just don't know how security didn't handle it, fans didn't handle it, how it happened for a prolonged period of time. That's not like heckling, That's not even like bad heckling. I just don't get it. In 2022, how does this still happen? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. And how did the verbal assailant not get yanked out of the arena by security or, even get pummeled by fans. I don't see how something that bad can go down. The single greatest tennis player in the history of the sport of all time, arguably. And the only argument is we're talking about a woman, not a man, who obviously can't beat the greatest men, may not be able to beat the 100th or 200th ranked man, or maybe the 500th ranked man in the world. Who knows? But against her opponents over an absurd period of time, 2 decades, just domination, nearly 40 championships when you count singles, doubles, mixed doubles. I think it's at 39. It's at 23 single major championships. I'm talking about majors, not tournaments won. Serena Williams, 40 years old, playing in her final tournament, the U.S. Open. I think it's tonight at 6. It's going to be a jam-packed all-thrash. It's going to be some must-watch TV. No, who knows what Serena Williams is going to do. She's going to have to dig deep, and she's going to have to play different tennis than she's played for the last year or so for sure, and arguably kind of go back to about 2, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Now, post-pregnancy, she made 4 finals, I believe, of majors, but lost all 4. U.S. Open was where she won her first major, I want to say 22 years ago, 23 years ago. That's just ridiculous. No, you'd love to see Serena Williams make a deep, long run in this U.S. Open. It's sort of like golf, the Wimbledon and in Britain and the U.S. Open, the British Open and the U.S. Open, Masters. It's like the best tournament, the best players, really good stuff right now. Even first round, even if you don't like tennis, just there's an intensity level because it's not just the regular tournament stop. It is game week. Tulane at Yeoman Saturday night versus UMass. The Waves favored by like 4 touchdowns. LSU 7 days away. Sunday night, Tiger fans. Superdome, as if you didn't know. Florida State Tigers by 3.5. We'll visit with Brett Martell. He, I think he'll be coming back from Baton Rouge about the time we holler at him in about an hour. So another Martel Monday, Tulane, LSU, Saints fans. Brett Martell around 5:20 in the 5 o'clock power hour. Hey, tomorrow they will be closed. Tuesday they are closed, but they're open right now, and they're open till 9:30 tonight. I'm talking about the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. I'm talking about Lebanon's Cafe, shish kebab, lamb chops, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. They're open right now. They're open till 9:30. Gotta love Lebanon's Cafe. On a cloudy, overcast day like this, you can probably get away eating outdoors too. Under the green awning, under the oak trees, on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe till 9:30 tonight. So good. Corey Johnson with you. Saints are at Atlanta in 13 days, a week from this Sunday. Noon kickoff from the ATL. The ATL is a lot like vets at Cleary for miles and miles and miles and miles. There's one thing Houston, Dallas, Atlanta all have in common: prosperity, lots of money, an economy, amazing growth. Wish New Orleans had some of that, no doubt. But they don't have much culture. Strip malls and strip joints. Strip malls and strip joints. Over and over and over. Recall the Destroya gaining some momentum. Social media is going to help that big time. Duke volleyball player Rachel Richardson, who is black, a game at BYU, getting called the N-bomb almost every time she attempted to serve or did serve. 2 things, Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. How does this still happen in 2022? 766-9480. And how did the verbal assailant get away with it for an extended period of time? 504-766-9480. The Artemis 1 launch, that massive rocket, engines, other systems, components, built in New Orleans East, out at the Michoud facility. New Orleans East, we help put man on the moon. That should be the motto, something like that. They'll schedule a relaunch. Yeah, I mentioned it. Serena Williams retiring. It'd be nice to see her make a deep, deep run. Hey, I got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates available. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. You'll want to remember that number.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 5:30 Vets a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Yeah, you right. Coming up on Thursday of this week, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Yeah, you right. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. That's Thursday on the program. Next week, buckle your seatbelts. New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams will join us on the program. Corey Johnson with you. On the neutral ground, you found the right spot. No, the better radio choice at 4 p.m. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. That's where you'll find me. New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. 600 AM. On TV, Cox Channel 4 television from 4 to 5:30. Spectrum Channel 333 television from 4 to 5:30. Hey, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Check out our website. And we're on YouTube now. YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Lots of ways to check out the program. Click to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Spread the word. Let your friends and family know. Do some sharing. But click to subscribe on our YouTube channel because it don't cost nothing. Same thing with signing the petition to recall the Destroya. An official recall petition has been filed with the Secretary of State's office in Baton Rouge to recall New Orleans Mayor Latoya, the Destroya, Cantrell, and it's gaining momentum. Social media is huge. Hey, in 4 hours at, wherever, Bayou St. John at Orleans, we're going to have a little pop-up tent and a little pop-up event and a signing. Recall signing, come sign. No, social media is a big, big difference maker. Need to get like 20% of registered voters in Orleans Parish. I think the number is 50-something thousand, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 53,000, something like that. It's a long shot because even if you get the votes, there's another election. But boy, the mayor just, not doing the job's one thing. It's sort of like lying, we almost like forgive you when you lie, but it's like if you're a hypocrite too, that's sort of, it's a little too much to forgive. With the mayor, it's like, you're ineffective at your job and you just don't seem to give a crap. It sends a terrible message to everyone in the world when you spend $18,631 on a round trip plane ticket to Paris and just, hey, that's how I fly. That's how I do it for my safety, and just make up BS answers. It just doesn't work. Doesn't hold water. No one's believing it. It's BS. You're expecting other people to believe it? It's just total nonsense. It's ready, fire, aim type stuff. $18,631 for round-trip airfare, all first class, all 5 legs of the trip. Just obnoxious. 3.5 days in Europe. It's all obnoxious. It just yells that. There's no justification for it, and the mayor just doesn't care. Just narcissistic, egomaniacal, and sadly, at this point, the mayor doesn't know it. The mayor's totally oblivious. But everything the mayor does is totally dictated by the public now in the media. Whatever the public and the media get fixated on, the mayor takes sort of a belligerent attitude and reacts. It's sort of like you're driving on the road, you're trying to pass, and then that car that accelerates when you're trying to pass and then slows down when you can't pass, and then when it's open, speeds up. Slows down. It's like you're controlling that car. That car isn't doing their own thing, and they're totally living their whole life based off of you wanting to pass. No, and it's aggravating for you. You have to deal with someone who's selfish or belligerent and doesn't understand the law. Simple things like that, just normal behavior. No, and when you're following the mayor, you're a citizen in New Orleans or the metro area, and you want to see New Orleans do well. No, it's painful. You're stuck. They're being dictated by what we say and think and do. Even indirectly, like NOLA coalition. You notice the mayor has not acknowledged that, said a thing about that, good, bad, and different. If she acknowledges it, she's acknowledging like she's not doing her job. She's not doing her job. It's almost like one of the rare self-created New Orleans middlemen that actually is doing something. It's actually pulling their weight. No, the politicians should know what to do. The mayor, the council should know what to do. Shouldn't need a New Orleans coalition to do it. But that's fine. I'm glad the NOLA coalition's there. Because historically, in my lifetime and beyond, New Orleans and Louisiana politicians do what they want to do. It's the John Ilario, Edwin Edwards syndrome and setting up themselves, friends and family, not worried at all about the folks that they're supposed to represent, not civic-minded at all, not sacrificing at all about enrichment, personal enrichment. That's a problem because that's not public service. You may think it is because you've been brainwashed in New Orleans and Louisiana. Politicians aren't supposed to gain anything, nothing, the opposite. They're successful people that are sacrificing their successful job in life, less time with the family, less time with the wife, less time at work earning money, or less time with the husband, less time at work earning money, and sacrificing that to be civic-minded and give back to the community as a politician, not to enrich yourself, make a son a riverboat pilot like the Ilarios or Heitmeyers. I forget what it is, 4% of all riverboat pilots are Heitmeyers. It's like 40%. It's like 7 or 8 riverboat pilots out of like 140 or something. It's insane. 5% of all riverboat pilots are a Heitmeyer. No, that's what people think. That's what people in Louisiana, that's okay to kind of Heitmeyer and Ilario and Edwin Edwards and folks like that, Mark Morial, Bill Jefferson, they know exactly the ceiling. What can I get away with? All the way up to, voters not voting me back, people getting mad, especially my race or political ideology, or worse, the feds coming in. Recall the Destroya gaining momentum. It's a long shot, but better than waiting on the next junket. Hey, the thing you got to be thinking about, the next election, more than the recall. J.P. Morrell, Helena Moreno, Oliver Thomas. Those would be 3 folks to keep an eye on right now, right? And then is a wild card going to step up? And is that wild card going to be worth something? New Orleans needs someone special that can change the direction of where the ship's been sailing for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. We need dramatic change. Not a little bit of change, not some things are good, some things are bad. Total redo, where a lot of people are upset. A lot of people get mad. There's too many entrenched, anointed, and appointed political hacks, middlemen, city contractors, hack politicians, too much of that. Need to totally reverse course. I loved it post-Katrina when you had Jim Letton as the U.S. attorney. You had Jim Bernazzani at the FBI. You had Bob Sarasoli, Inspector General, City of New Orleans. We're getting back to that. Ed Michel, very Bob Sarasoli-like. This Eastern District of Louisiana seems to be getting back on track. Let's go after the criminals. The FBI in New Orleans seems to have their you-know-what together. So, no, we're getting back to those days. Those days were incredible. Every 2-3 months, Letton would have a press conference about some politician or city contractor getting indicted. And then those people complaining, and then 3 months later pleading guilty. It's like a 97, 98% conviction rate. It was so needed. It not only, you're cutting all the fat out, you're getting rid of the bad, and you're sending out a message to the hack jokers to stay away. The city is being closely observed for hack jokers like you that do it to enrich themselves, to set themselves up. Recall the mayor. It's important. Again, probably a long shot, probably not going to happen, but go sign anyway, and let's see what happens. And then focus on the next mayor. Be nice to get a difference maker, a change agent, someone special, someone that cannot be had, someone that can't be on the take, someone that is already successful and smart, that's strictly there to shake it up, maybe a one-term and done. New Orleans needs dramatic change, or we'll continue down the path we're on instead of maybe competing a little bit with the Austin, Texas, the Nashvilles of the world. Hey, every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto, River City's Total Maintenance Studios. River City's Total Maintenance, honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. What more do you need? Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. I don't want to learn about air conditioning. I want someone that I can trust. I don't want folks guessing what they're trying to fix. I want them knowing what needs to be fixed. And if my AC's out, I want them coming immediately, fixing it yesterday. NOLAAC.com, 841-3300, NOLAAC.com. That's River City's Total Maintenance. Corey Johnson with you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Hey, Fury's is open till 9 p.m. tonight. Start with a cup of gumbo or turtle soup, authentic, real New Orleans. You can bring folks, family, friends in from out of town, take them to Fury's, give them gumbo and turtle soup and go, that's it. That's the New Orleans example. And you're crushing it out the park, as real as it gets. Depending on the size of your table, if it's just a couple of you, maybe 3 of you, you could probably get away with a small order of onion rings. But if it's 3 or 4 or more, you better get a large order of onion rings. So good. Made to order, old school, kind of a lost art. I love fresh fried onion rings. Fury's has some of the best anywhere. And then they only serve local and fresh seafood. Local and fresh. Not frozen, not from out of state, not from out of the country. Sadly, they may be like the last place that's like that. I don't know of too many other places that serve exclusively local and fresh like Fury's. They're open till 9 p.m. tonight. You won't be disappointed. So good. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Hey, we got Louis Armstrong International Airport. I was talking about this last week. That's one of the best names of any airport in the world. Eddie Robinson Stadium up at Grambling. That's as good a name of a college football stadium as there is anywhere. Named after a legend. Pete Maravich Assembly Center, beautiful. That statue they unveiled with the ball behind the back, perfect. Says it all in a statue. Besides Louis Armstrong International Airport, besides our wonderful park, Armstrong Park, which I don't get the locked gates at night kind of thing. Anyway, that goes in the Pontchartrain Beach, Lincoln Beach, fenced off mentality. Another show, another day. What else has Louis Armstrong's name on it? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. What else has Louis Armstrong's name on it? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. That's how you participate in the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Besides Louis Armstrong International in the park, what else has Louis Armstrong's name on it? Especially this time of year. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa is yours. 4 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, North Shore in Slidell, Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. A 5th Woodhouse coming online soon, like in the next few months, this fall. Woodhouse Mandeville location. Yeah, you're right. The Woodhouse Mandeville location on the North Shore. Hey, which local broadcaster was on and indicted trash dump owners lobbying list. The feds went in and found this list that had about 20 or 30 names. It was a personal lobbying list. Folks, this kind of seedy individual could count on to push his agenda. Which local broadcaster was on an indicted trash dump owners lobbyist list? A list he had, personal list on folks he could count on to push his agenda. This guy was a broadcaster, a media member. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa for you. And who was the Katrina deviant that brought down the local U.S. Attorney's office by essentially hiring one from within? This guy went to a new level. This guy went to a new level. It didn't just hire great lawyers because you're rich, hire the best lawyers money can buy. It's hire the best lawyers money can buy, and if the feds are coming after you, hire someone that works or worked in that office and knows how that office operates. That's what this individual did and got off. Got off and crushed a very effective U.S. Attorney's office. And here's the kicker. This is so New Orleans and Louisiana that your head might implode when you hear it. This guy was almost U.S. Attorney himself, wanted to be the U.S. Attorney, if you remember. I know you're at you and you go, my God, Corey's right on that. No, a total clown. Couple of Woodhouse Day Spa questions for you. 3, actually, on this particular day, which we don't need to get into because who wants to relive 17 years ago that was here 17 years ago? Seriously. Hey, let's talk about it. I was here and who wants to relive any of that? Seriously. Hey, man, my dad died 10 years ago. Let's relive the funeral. You remember the funeral? Do you remember they lowered the coffin into the ground? Let's relive that. I don't get it. I don't know why I don't watch any of that stuff. I'm not watching this. I like that this young local guy's producing movies. I hope he produces a bunch of documentaries and films. I'm not watching the one about Katrina children because I don't want to watch flooding and despair and trauma and all of that. Been there, done that, lived it. Part of our lives. Hey, I fought in the war. And I'm not trying to compare Katrina to the war. I'm just saying, I fought in the war. Let's go relive the war. I don't want to talk about that. You can. I'm not watching any of that local stuff on that tonight. It's like social media posting, hey, we're going to relive that tonight. Watch. Thanks for the warning. So we know the date. Which local broadcaster was on an indicted trash dump owners lobbying list? A list this indicted trash dump owner put together of local semi-influential to influential people, some in the media, some not, that he could count on to push his agenda. And who was the Katrina deviant that brought down the local U.S. Attorney's office by hiring someone from the local attorney's office, basically, and exposing a lot of stuff. Louis Armstrong has the airport and a park named after him. What other building named after him? Especially this time of the year, it kind of comes to light. 5 o'clock powwow next, 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM, New Orleans. Don't move.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Once upon a time, there were 3 beautiful girls. Wow. 2 of them graduated from the police academy. The The other graduated from a top school for models. Wow. And they each reaped the rewards of their exciting careers. But I took them away from all that, and now they work for me. My name is Charlie.
I can get in touch with Charlie if you needed the Angels. Is there a phone number? How did that work? Hi, Charlie. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. What's up, New Orleans? Little cloudy, little overcast, some drizzling, a little rain in some parts of the city. Other parts high and dry. But it is not a feels like 105 type of day, and I'll take that. Might even be a day you can slip outside and dine outside tonight with this cloud cover and not so hot. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way. We got a good one lined up for you. Today, the 5 o'clock powwow brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? A great wind down your day type of place. It truly is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Great little bar in there, too, where you can eat, chat with friends, get a drink. Katie's in Mid-City, legendary. And they've expanded. The Katie's of Harahan is Bienvenue. Bienvenue on Hickory, right in the curve. The Katie's of Harahan. Yeah, bringing a little mid-city New Orleans Katie's flavor to Hickory Avenue. Bienvenue and Katie's in Mid-City. 5 o'clock powwow brought to you by Katie's on this Monday afternoon. Great way to start the week. Recall the Destroya is gaining momentum. Every time I go on Twitter, there is a Recall the Destroya location that you can go to. I was just looking at one a second ago. Let's see. It's not that hard to find them. Let's see. Oh, here's one. New Orleans East residents. Oh, no, that's call to action to rid blight in their neighborhood. Yeah, that's way overdue. I like that, New Orleans East folks. Yeah, where's the mayor on that? I'm going to try to find the latest recall location. No, I was just looking on Twitter. I just saw it a second ago. Anyway, I'll bring that to you momentarily. But social media, first off, we're in 2022, a lot of technology, including social media. And there's just spots. I mean, there's probably been about 10 so far where you can meet. There's a tent. There's people engaging in conversation. There's bottled water and stuff like that. There's like a effort. It's organized. And it's pop-up type stuff. And because of social media, you don't need days of advance notice and flyers and all that. No, it's 2022. And with social media and these pop-up announcements that are viable, who knows? I mean, it's worth the slight effort. A long shot, but better than waiting on the next junket, right? If enough signatures of registered voters are accumulated, then the governor would call a special election where the mayor and some other eligible participants would run for the remainder of the mayor's term. That would be amazing. No, what I think has got this thing going is not just an inept mayor. It's an inept mayor sort of flipping the bird to everybody. Like, screw y'all. I'm going to go to, the French Riviera while New Orleans suffers. And I'm going to spend $18,631 on first-class airfare to get there. Buying it 3.5 days out, super last minute. You want to know who spends $18,000? Seriously. You know who the mayor was sitting next to? Folks that are rich, that plan this way in advance and got their first-class airline ticket for half of what the mayor paid. Maybe less. And then anyone else that paid $18,631, dude, you got to get to France. The multi-million-dollar deal is dependent on you. So here's the so-and-so, get on a plane, fly there tonight. That kind of thing. That's the other person that spent $18,631. And just, I'm not trying to be a jerk by saying this, but our jerk mayor, just belligerent, 3.5 days out. I don't care, 18 grand, buy it. I'm sitting first class. And then the reason for safety, what, corona or terrorist attack? What are you talking about? You're on a plane. And your 3 flunkies that came with you that jacked up the overall 3.5 day junket to the French Riviera to north of $43,000. Those 3 hacks were sitting in coach. So it makes no sense. It's insulting. And it's so vague, blatant and not vagrant, but it's beyond over the top and in your face. It's just anyone with any pride or self-awareness would be like, I'm being insulted here. This mayor's clearly saying, screw you. Got major crime problems, street projects all going at once because of the unorganization, and you better do it now before you lose the money. I mean, so many problems from the past. And the mayor just kind of deaf ears, doesn't care, living in a fantasy land, acts like she's for the people, and so many people she represents live in very, very rough areas that have major crime problems and cannot relate at all to $18,631 for an airfare ticket. You spent 18 grand on something that came and went in 5 days. You went to Europe for 3.5 days. Just getting there was $18,631. It's just hard for people to wrap their brain around that. And that's why this recall effort is taking off. No, social media may put it over the top. I got to hear from you in this. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Duke University volleyball women's team goes to BYU to play in a tournament. Duke has one black volleyball player, I think, on the team, Rachel Richardson. Every time she served at this game at BYU, she was getting called the N-bomb from fans in the stand, from those attending in the stands. N-bomb drop after N-bomb drop after N-bomb drop. Almost every serve she attempted. I mean, 2 things just jump out. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. 2 things just jump out. How does this still happen in 2022? A sporting event at a major university. This is a university. These are educated folks getting educated. No one's dumb. No one's dim. BYU, solid school. Not everyone gets in there. Duke is one of the best universities in the world. Definitely in this country. Hard to get in. These aren't stupid people. BYU, the Mormon community, these are educated people. Salt Lake City is an educated city. It's not a bunch of dummies. You go to a Burger King or a McDonald's, you'll see just a different education level than you're used to at other places. Yet you've got folks in the stands that are that ignorant, that are that stupid, that are that belligerent, that are that full of hate, that ugly, dropping the N-bomb in 2022. How does this still happen? And how did the verbal assailant not get yanked out by security immediately? And if that wasn't happening quick enough, how did fans not, and I'm not pushing for this, the opposite, but how did fans not get violent? How did not someone punch this guy in the jaw to shut him up? Crazy, dropping the N-bomb in 2022 at an intercollegiate volleyball game. Crazy. In less than an hour, about 45 minutes or so, the single greatest tennis player of all time, arguably, men or women, Serena Williams, 40 years old, plays in her final tournament. Round 1, U.S. Open, Flushing Meadow, New York, a little after 6 o'clock tonight. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Hey, Louis Armstrong has our airport named after him, our big park downtown. What other public building, especially this time of the year, the spotlight's put on at this time of year, what other public building has Louis Armstrong's name on it? I shouldn't say public building. I guess that facility's a public facility. It's public, I guess. Anyway, which building has Louis Armstrong's name on it? Love it. Because it's a building in his neighborhood. The neighborhood he lived in towards the end of his life, middle and end of his life. Coming right back.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. I know what the date is today, and I know what happened 17 years ago, but I don't care to talk about it or relive that. You can call in and discuss anything you like, including that, but I don't really see the point. Seriously, I don't get it. I did retweet something a little while ago. I didn't even know this statue existed. This statue to Latinos at Crescent Park shows some Latinos like building and how, undocumented workers, they saved our rear end post-Katrina. Period. End of story. Like they do. They're part of the fabric of this country. Since day one, our undocumented workers. And that continues today. It's become this political nonsense. It's a joke. I don't know why some college student, I've never seen this anywhere, like a dissertation or some study done if all undocumented workers were either citizens or were kicked out of the country. And what would be the end result from that? And we already know the answer if you've ever done just a little bit of research on this. Nebraska decided no more illegal aliens in the meatpacking industry. They implemented that law, and all those workers went to neighboring states, and the meatpacking industry almost went under in Nebraska, and they immediately rescinded that law. If you talk to the dairy farmers in upstate New York, they'll tell you if you want to pay $25 or $30 a gallon for milk, and that's if you can find it on the shelf, get rid of the illegal aliens, the undocumented workers, because without them, there'd be no dairy farming. And by the way, most of these farmers and meat packers and all these folks, they are conservative Republicans, registered as conservative Republicans, and they are 110% for undocumented workers because they're living the real deal in America with them. And they know it's part of the system in America. Always has been there, always will be there. And this political BS, sadly, what it is the tool of lazy politicians. Come up with a fake problem, ideally make the fake problem why your life stinks or why you're struggling. They're the reason. And man, you've got a motivated voter, and you've got a politician that has no expectation in office. Just keep complaining about this nonsense, this non-existing problem that is unsolvable because it's not real and no one wants to solve it anyway. Get rid of undocumented workers, make them citizens, kick them out of the country does not make sense. Make them citizens and then they want to be paid like citizens. They want everything citizens have. Then all of a sudden, I don't know, a pint of strawberries is like $15. A chicken, rotisserie chicken, instead of $5 is $12. A New York strip is $18.99 a pound instead of $8.99 a pound. Pound of bacon's $20, not $10. Gallon of milk, $25, not $6. I mean, we can go on and on and on this. So no, that statue in Crescent Park on the riverfront of the undocumented workers, the Latinos that saved our ass post-Katrina, without a doubt, thank God for them, came in by the thousands and went to work, saved us. Recall the Destroya gaining momentum. It's 2022, coupled with social media. I mean, there could be some little pop-up announcement. Hey, in 3 hours, recall on so-and-so, and boom, folks are there signing by the dozens, by the hundreds. Who knows? It's worth the slight effort, a long shot, but better than just waiting on the next junket. So why not sign if you're a resident and a registered voter? If you're not a resident or a registered voter, don't waste the time, because your signature is going to have to get verified, and all you're going to do is waste time. And there's always a buffer. They're going to go over the mark needed. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Hey, I've got some Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Louis Armstrong International Airport, Louis Armstrong Park. There's another building, especially this time of the year, that the spotlight is put on a building, a place named after Louis Armstrong. You got the answer? I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 504-766-9480. Hey, in about 60 seconds, Brett Martell's going to join us. Another Martel Monday. Yeah, you right. Hey, speaking of media types, which local broadcaster was on an indicted trash dump owner's lobby list? This indicted trash dump owner had a list called with lobbyists, it said. And it was media types and business people, politicians that this guy obviously felt he could count on to push his agenda. Which local broadcaster was on that indicted trash dump owner's lobbying list? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse for you. And who's the Katrina deviant that brought down the local U.S. Attorney's Office by hiring one of their own? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone lines, that's how you participate in the program. 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Wow, technology, bro. Love to hear from you. This is crazy. A Duke volleyball player, black, getting called the N-bomb during a game at BYU. Two things. How does this still happen in 2022? And how did the verbal assailant get out of there without getting beat up or yanked out by security? Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. NASA's Artemis 1 rocket, that launch has been scrubbed, canceled. The massive rocket with engines and lots of other systems and components, a lot of this rocket built in New Orleans East. New Orleans East. We helped put man on the moon. That launch has been pushed back till Friday, it looks like. That's the next open window, Friday. In about 35 minutes, the single greatest tennis player of all time hits the court. Hopefully not the last time. Hopefully a nice deep run in this U.S. Open. Serena Williams, 40 years old, plays her in her final tournament. Tonight at 6, round 1 action from Flushing Meadow and New York. An appropriate time to bring up our man on a Monday. It is a Martel Monday. Brett Martell joins us on the program again. What up, Brett?
Hey, Corey.
How are you, man?
How you doing?
Good.
Just driving back from LSU.
Nice. Let's get into that. Before we do, the single greatest tennis player of all time, you could argue, Brett, Serena Williams, 40 years old, playing in her final tournament, the U.S. Open. I'd love a nice long run, huh?
Yeah, I was in center court in Wimbledon when she lost that really long first-round match to the French player. With her name eludes me, but she's got Thai ancestry. That was a strange match, it was weird to see her lose in the first round of Wimbledon. But just being there, you could tell she was a far superior player. She had way more winners, almost double the amount of winners in that match. But lost because her opponent was kind of just getting the ball back, and Serena maybe win her first match back after a year, wasn't quite in the playing shape she wanted to be in, was a little rusty, and had a lot of unforced errors. Now she's had, quite a few weeks since then to try and get in better condition, refine her game, make a legitimate run here at the U.S. Open. I would expect her to actually have, barring any kind of unforeseen or unknown injury, I would expect her to have some lopsided victories in the early round before she starts to run into, a little bit different competition in the mid-round.
Yeah, the problem is I think she wins today against like the 40th ranked player in the world. She takes on number 2 in round 2. It'd probably be the second ranked player. And then I think as she advances, it's all like ranked players as you know, as the funnel gets tighter. Brett Martell's with us. That's at 6 tonight. Coming up in a few minutes, Serena Williams at the U.S. Open. Hey, Brett, you're literally on I-10 on the way back from Baton Rouge heading to New Orleans. That traditional Monday pre-game press conference up in Baton Rouge. The Brian Kelly era is about to begin. I guess the number one question, who's the starting quarterback? And he kind of answered it in a way. I don't know if it's the Arizona State kid or Nussmeier, but you know both are going to see the field a lot. They have the same types of skill set, and Kelly said as much today, sort of a 1 and a 1A or a 1A and a 1B, not a 1 and a 2. So probably Jaden Daniels, the Arizona State kid, I would imagine, gets the start, but maybe not because he wants to put the young kid in to see if he reacts well. I don't know, but I think those QBs are going to be sharing time unless one just separates himself from the other. What do you think?
Right. I mean, he made it clear that both should expect to play. He talked about, he painted a scenario whereby whoever the backup is will be sitting on the sideline with helmet on, knowing that they could, be in from snap to snap, essentially. That it wouldn't be a type of situation where there's a backup who has his helmet off, standing on the sideline with a headset. And, he doesn't want to say who the starter is. The only reason that I think it might be Nussmeier, and I could have misread this, but when he was talking about how similar the play calls can be for both quarterbacks, he said, it's not like I have to flip over my play sheet to the Jaden Daniels plays.
That's right.
And then he goes, or the Nussmeier plays.
No, it's true.
But it was almost like he was giving away that Nussmeier would be in first. And then he realized when he said Jaden, it's not like I have to flip over the Jaden Daniels plays. It's almost like he's correcting himself to try to cover up, the potential hint that Nussmeier was going to be the starter. And said, or the Nussmeier plays, afterwards.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, that's just me inferring.
Well, no, I mean, it's not like, one's a running quarterback and one's a stand in the pocket thrower. They're both athletes. They're both quick and can run. They both will run. They both can make plays outside the pocket. And they're very similar like that. So I don't think any plays at all will change. I mean, we'll see what they're comfortable with as time goes on and live action and all that. But right now, I think that's what Kelly's saying. I think that's all true. And he talks about it. It's an advantage for LSU that they, just to take advantages where they're there. It's an advantage for LSU that they haven't played because Florida State doesn't know who the quarterback's going to be. And he wants to keep that advantage on Sunday. Hey, Brett, he also said something pretty interesting today, didn't he? About LSU plays Sunday night in the Dome against Florida State. Yet they will have a kind of pseudo practice and not like a walkthrough. Like he said, the players will sweat in the morning at the Superdome. So he said for night games, he likes having like a practice sort of in the morning, I guess 8-10 hours before game time or something.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I guess he feels like, it gets them rolling and there's still plenty of time to recover and even take a nap if they need to, but I'm not exactly sure all the research or whatever, or just the gut feelings that go into it, but
I've never heard of a walkthrough, Brett, the morning of a night game, not even a walkthrough.
Right, it's usually the day before.
Exactly, much less a he's not saying walkthrough. He said we're going to sweat a little bit.
Yeah. But it's hard to know. I mean, those are closed, so it's hard to know exactly what he means by that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I would imagine zero contact, but maybe he wants them to run a few things, you know, zero contact, but moving pretty good, going through it quickly, and that you know, from play to play, maybe doing a 2-minute drill to make sure you're fresh on that, and that can cause you to sweat a little.
Hey, Brett, this is sort of an interesting one that I'm kind of scratching my head on. I mean, Brian Kelly comes to LSU because it's easier to recruit and he can win easier here than Notre Dame. And I saw someone on social media, sports guy yesterday, you know, LSU has like 47 players from Louisiana. Notre Dame has 8 from Indiana. I hope they got 8 from Indiana because there are no football players in Indiana. I mean, it's Notre Dame. You're telling me the right coach at Notre Dame can't have equal or more success than LSU? I mean, Notre Dame is more of the national program than LSU is. I'm not saying LSU doesn't recruit nationally. I'm not saying LSU isn't, the dominant program the last 20 years, especially compared to Notre Dame. I mean, the last 20 years, Alabama, I don't know, maybe Ohio State, maybe not. I mean, LSU is as good as anybody but Alabama, way ahead of Notre Dame. But I just found it funny, like, oh, Kelly will have an easier time winning at LSU than Notre Dame. I'm like, maybe not. Notre Dame's Notre Dame. It's got a lot of cachet. It doesn't matter if you have Louisiana to recruit or not. The right coach at Notre Dame can win. So that's a little concerning somewhat, like leaving Notre Dame for LSU, like it's easier to win there. It's sort of like, how did you not win the ultimate thing at Notre Dame over 15 years?
Well, I think that the football landscape has evolved a little bit, and there's a combination of academic requirements and facilities. I mean, LSU has superior facilities and resources now.
Yep. That's a good point.
We're not just talking about recruiting players. We're talking about developing players, maintaining their health and nutrition. I mean, the big comment that Kelly made today.
It's a great point.
Was that the combination of, you heard it, right? The nutrition department, the training department, and the weight and strength and conditioning department is like that. The way that the synergy between the employees in those areas as it comes to developing the health and wellness and strength and conditioning of the players, you know, like the foundation of an athlete. He said he'd never seen anything like it. So, in so many words, you know, he didn't use those exact words, but essentially that's the biggest difference between LSU and anything else, anywhere else he's ever been. And I think he likes those resources. I mean, you look, Saban said when he first came from Michigan State to LSU, I think you'll remember, he said that he had recalled working under Belichick with the Browns, and that they had done a study and more NFL players per capita came from the state of Louisiana anywhere else. So he just thought if I could recruit well from Louisiana, I could do well. So I think that's where the recruiting element comes in. But when you combine the recruiting with the academic standards and the resources that LSU now has, in their football facilities, not just what do you call it, physical plant, but human resources. It makes it the type of job where, yes, it's harder to win in the SEC than maybe Notre Dame's schedule in general. But if you want to win it all and not just get to the college football playoff and get blown out, but get to the college football playoff and win, maybe your chances are better at LSU than Notre Dame. And if your chances are just the same, while LSU is prepared to pay $10 million a year over 10 years.
Yeah. $95 million over a decade, exactly. Brett Martell's with us. Another Martel Monday. John Emery's a legitimate college running back, Brett. Folks were hoping for a breakout year that he could carry a lot of the load for the Tigers. He's going to miss what? The first couple of games? And then the experience level plummets, right?
Well, it's not looking like he's going to play this week.
Nope.
I mean, Kelly essentially said today, it was a little ambiguous in how he described it, but he essentially said Emory's done everything to be a good grade to the football team, but the things.
No, it's got to be academic problems. Academics.
Right. It's got to be. I mean, it could be something else, but it's probably an academic issue.
Yep, he's had that before.
Yeah.
No, but they could use him.
It's not really, I guess he said he couldn't comment on it. Cannot comment on it. And it's maybe unfair to speculate. There's a variety of things it could be.
No, I think LSU has a lot of still has a lot of talent, Brett. I think John Emery's a prime example, and I think the running back's a prime example of a position. I think the concern for LSU and Brian Kelly, obviously, like any team, staying healthy, but why it's really vital and important for LSU, they don't have a lot of depth. I mean, Ed Ogeron decimated the program, left it, I'm not going to say in tatters and in ruins, but, a couple of years of 500 type ball, a lot of attrition. So a poor development of players that they recruited. So there's not a lot of depth. Hopefully the starters and the stars play well. Some newbies come in, which always happens, and perform and play well, and that can carry LSU. My biggest concern about this Tiger team is depth, lack of depth, and fourth quarter SEC games on the road, 8 SEC games. That's where it's going to get tough. That's where the rubber hits the road. I think late October, November, that's where we're going to know what kind of LSU football team. Some depth is developed and they stay healthy.
A couple years before you have the type of team where, when a starter gets hurt, there's a super talented backup.
Yeah, not much of a drop off, if any.
Could come in late in the season and actually be ready to fill in well.
Yep.
And if you look at the top 4 candidates to play cornerback at LSU right now, on either side, all 4 of them are transfers.
Yeah, they brought in a lot of DBs from other places, Arkansas, all over.
Yeah, I mean, they have an Oklahoma State transfer. They have a Louisiana Lafayette transfer, a McNeese State graduate transfer.
Yep.
And
two from Arkansas, I think a corner and a safety.
Graduate transfer.
A what? Where is the other one?
Ohio State.
Nice. Take that. Had good success with a QB from there a while back.
Right. But it's a the fact that it's an Ohio State graduate transfer. I mean, the best Ohio State guys usually don't even make it to senior year before they get drafted. So I feel like at Marshawn Lattimore.
And they get drafted by the Saints. Hey, Brett, any final thoughts? Anything that Kelly said that we're missing? Anything jump out at you at today's first press conference?
No, I think he talked about the offensive line and how that came together. That was another position group that's really important that he had no idea how it was going to shake out when August camp started. I shouldn't say no idea, but little idea.
It's a young offensive line. True freshman starters, some sophomore starters. It's young.
Right, and I mean, the most experienced guy on the offensive line, at least for LSU, is Cam Wire. He's one of the offensive tackles, and he started 4 games last year.
Yep.
And he's the most experienced.
And I think he's the right tackle, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so, and the guy that's playing center, got a lot of good work in last year at guard and tackle, but never played center before. Now, Kelly knows a lot about the offensive line. He says that, Dellinger is ready, and if he is, if he says that, then he probably is what I want to say. Kelly has a lot of credibility talking about offensive linemen. So he thought that Dellinger did an incredible job making the transition from, a guard tackle type player to a center who had never, he'd never played center before. He had to learn, the snapping and, as well as shotgun snap, and then how to quickly transition with your footwork from a snapping position to a blocking position. Kelly seems to think he's done well in that area. So now if he goes down, I don't know. Who knows what plan B is. The other thing I guess is interesting, he talked about the kicking situation. And they don't really, they're not really super committed, I think, to a kicker yet. But then once they commit to somebody that, you know, they're going to know what his range is, and they're going to game plan accordingly.
LSU Sunday night, Superdome versus Florida State, the Tigers by 3.5. There's still a lot of tickets available. It's going to be interesting to see how full the dome is for this type of game. You know, not even a generation ago, just a few short years ago, this thing would be 70,000 plus, and now we'll have to wait and see because there's thousands of tickets left. Hey, Brett, Saturday night, I mean, there are no preseason games or exhibition games in college, but Tulane's reached a level where they're not a terrible team anymore. They're not a powerhouse. They're not where they want to be, but they're not at the bottom like they were for so long. They're taking on UMass at Yulman Saturday night. And even for Tulane, it's like an exhibition game. They're favored by like 4 touchdowns in this contest.
Right. I mean, they, you know, it's funny. Last season, it's tough to, I think it's interesting. You know, you and I always talk about how the odds makers don't have an emotional investment. They only have a financial investment. That gives them a strong measure of credibility.
Yep.
In terms of the lines they set. And they're often very close on those lines. Tulane last year started off quite well in a highly competitive game against Oklahoma and kind of fell off the table shortly after that with Michael Pratt getting injured and trying to play through an injury.
Yep.
You know, I think that it's a program that generally has been well run under Willie Fritz and has a lot of players who know that they're better than they showed last year, that are looking for redemption, players as well as players who are coming back healthy. I mean, they just had such bad injury luck last year. And so they are primed to improve considerably over last year to where they could get back into bowl contention this year. But as far as winning their conference, it's hard. You know, it's really hard to tell. I don't think they're quite there yet. Having
a college quarterback, I think, is so important, and I think Pratt has the potential to be a pretty good college quarterback. Not just, 90% of college quarterbacks are just like the best athlete, throwing the sideline out, reading defenses, that type of stuff, not their strength. Hopefully this kid can emerge as a true college quarterback. He has the potential. The running back for the Wave, Brett, that kid has NFL potential, and that's a plus. You can, ground it out a little bit while the Wave gets, Pratt comfortable. Healthy, too, by the way.
Yeah, as long as their offensive line is solid, because I think even the best running back, if the offensive line is no good, it's tough to make everybody on defense miss. So, we'll see how they go. I mean, I think that one of the difficulties for Tulane historically has been recruiting really, top of the line, blockers.
Yep.
And so I know Willie Fritz has worked really hard on that, and he's had some good ones in the recent years. But it's been a little up and down, a little spotty, where an injury could derail the whole thing. We'll see how they look this year. But
yep.
If the offensive line is solid, that running back should have a really good year, especially if Michael Pratt is healthy and, within his third season has the maturity to know how to recognize defense before the snap and distribute the ball efficiently.
Hey, in 13 days or a week from this Sunday, it's a noon kickoff from Atlanta, the Saints at the Falcons. What's the deal, Brett? They got it to around 78? So they got to get it down to 53 by tomorrow?
That's right.
Any surprises? Is there a player or two that you think a lot of folks might think are going to be on the roster and you don't think they're going to be? And are there players, a no-name or two that's going to be on the roster?
I think that the team is pretty hard to make. A couple players that maybe have a chance. Kirk Merritt, maybe, because he's shown a willingness to do anything, including taking reps at running back and, be a return man, play special teams. And he's had some moments where he looks good doing all of those things. So his versatility could help him get on the active roster, or at least on the practice squad, and then moved up quickly if there's an injury where they can use a guy like him. So I think he has a chance. And you could say maybe the same for Lucas Krull, the young tight end. You know, especially if there's an injury situation on tight end. Adam Troutman has been out for a little while. So, yeah, there could be a chance there with him. But like we talked about before, I wouldn't be surprised to see Handbook get cut and then sign to the practice squad. Obviously,
yeah, I think that's right. I think. Here's another thing, Brett. I don't know if it's happened the last few years. I think you're only going to have 2 quarterbacks on the team, you know, and it's 1 and 1A. I mean, I don't think Andy Dalton's a real number 2. He's sort of a 1.5, can come in and play if Jameis Winston gets injured, can lead you to a victory in a game or 2 even. And then I think you have that emergency kind of QB type of thing. And you're not going to call him the emergency QB. He's your tight end. He's your H-back. He's your, you know, do everything guy. I think Taysom Hill will be the number 3 quarterback, and I think you're right. Book will go to the practice squad.
So, yeah, the interesting thing that I've noticed in training camp, and I think a lot of analysts have kind of expressed similar things, is that Andy Dalton, you know, I mean, he clearly is not as physically talented and doesn't throw as nice of a ball, especially deep as Jameis Winston throws. And he's not as fast as James. You know, James Winston's a very elusive player. He has some capability. But in terms of temperament and risk taking, Dalton may be more inclined to be like a game manager type quarterback and making high percentages. I mean, even if you look at the last preseason game, and the big story, of course, was Winston is a projected starter, and he comes back and goes 4 for 59 yards and leads him right down the field for a touchdown. And he did that with the first team offense, so that was good. He had a couple nice completions to Landry, another to Olave. Then, you know, the big knock on Winston has been not throwing the short ball. While he got a classic little Camara route coming out of the backfield for a 5-yard game, which was the third to last play before Ingram scored. And that was good, and that was the story. Then comes Dalton with the second team offense, and he goes for like 73 yards and they score a touchdown on another Ingram run.
Yep.
So Dalton, I mean, that says to me that, you know, here's Dalton in there with the second team offense, and he's able to recognize immediately where to go with the ball and deliver it.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the guys and the second teamers are able to execute with him at quarterback. So if he's in there with the first teamers, how would he have done likely? You know? So he's clearly competent and well suited to this system. Yeah. And so the Saints, I think, a quarterback that's definitely right now not where they have a depth problem, especially considering that Taysom Hill even has a career record of, what is it? I want to say
2 and 4, something like that.
7 and 2.
No, I don't think so. I don't.
Yeah,
oh no, maybe I'm thinking interceptions. No, you might be right. It might be like 5 and 2s, 5 and 3, something like that. Hey, Brett, how can folks check out your stuff at the AP?
It's AP News, the app on a smartphone, which is free. It gives you a lot of valuable information from all over the world, not just in sports, the Ukraine war, the economy, climate change, how about it? And apnews.com on a laptop is another way. You just search for my name or the teams of interest in Louisiana that I would cover, and the articles will come up.
Brett, always a pleasure. We'll check you out next Monday and with a little post-Tulane and LSU news.
Yep, Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
So hope everybody enjoys the weekend coming up, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, you're right, Brett. That's Brett Martell, another Martel Monday. Corey Johnson with you. I hit Fausto's today. Got those red beans and rice like I like to do on a Monday. Pretty much the only non-Italian or Sicilian dish on the entire menu. Those red beans and rice. But Fausto grew up in the Italian part of the French Quarter like 60 years ago. had that age-old recipe of great red beans and rice. He took it with him to Fausto's. So I get those on a Monday. But I did get the paneed chicken breast on the side. Italian seasoning, Italian breadcrumbs, pounded thin, paper thin, crispy. Fantastic. Fausto's opened up their doors back in 1990. And they opened up their doors this evening about 5 o'clock. They'll go till 9 p.m. this evening. Plenty of time to get on over and enjoy some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
History taking place in about 5 minutes, 8 minutes or so. Hopefully it's not the end. Hopefully just the beginning of a nice long run in her final tournament. The single greatest tennis player of all time, arguably, Serena Williams, 40 years old, playing in her final tournament, and it's the U.S. Open round one. Yeah, they've already started it. Started earlier today. Her match goes down in just a few minutes, a little bit after 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's game week. Tulane on Saturday night at Yeoman. LSU Sunday night in the Dome. Saints a week from Sunday in Atlanta. Wow. Fall football right around the corner. We're on the brink. You got to love that. Thank goodness. Hey, you heading home from work? Probably from work to home, you'll pass 2 or 3 Rouse's Markets. Why don't you beeline into that Rouse's Market and take care of business? Best quality, best price, best selection. They got everything you want. Truly does taste like home. Your grocery store, Rouse's Markets. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, that recall the Destroya. Gaining momentum, West End at Allen to St. Boulevard right now. A long line in the parking lot. Folks are signing that recall petition. What's that, Blue Boy? Will they take a paw print? You're a registered voter in Orleans Parish. Yes, Blue Boy. I think you qualify. Have a great night. 93.9 FM. See you tomorrow. Mañana.